Any luck building the platform yet?
Yes. I'm ready to build the rest of it.
Good. Let's move on then. Here's a list of everything we'll need. Now, I know some of that might as well be in Greek, so I'll be around if you have any questions.
Looks good, Ingram.
Oh, it's important that all the components are wired. If you need any help, I'd wish you good luck.
Weapons hot and ready to bring the pain, sir. Hang on to something.
eliminated.
Approach and identify yourself. Please all step into the open and identify yourself. Law-abiding citizens going nothing to fear.
Individual on the target. Mission accomplished.
Beastly oxens. That's done with.
Do not attempt to flee. You will be identified and sanctioned. Your mission is attempt. Capture. Beginning pursuit. Kill. Kill.
Weapons cold.
Unidentified intruder detected. Beginning search. Warning. Dangerous fugitive is on the loose. Do not attempt to apprehend. Standing down. Attention. Fugitives should be considered armed and dangerous. Law-abiding citizen, please leave the area. Continued resistance is unlawful. Going up. Second floor. Going up. Basement. Going up. Second floor.
Hey,
All right.
over here.
No problem.
Going up.
Hey,
Ready.
Basement.
Go check that out.
Affirmative.
Get him.
Swag, let's go.
Clear. Clear.
Neutralized.
is locked and loaded. Good hunting. Prepare for landing. Touchdown could be a little rough.
I gladly lay down my life. Keeps
Attention. Any personnel who have not completed their annual medical evaluation should report to Night Captain Cade immediately to schedule an examination. That is all.
In my experience, hot shots and big mouths end up with closed casket funerals. Nothing to report right now, Knight.
Have you collected any blood samples, Knight?
Yes, here you go.
Is this some sort of a joke? I don't know what that is, but it certainly isn't a viable blood sample. Do you have any or not?
No, sorry.
Keep trying. There's plenty out there. I really appreciate...
Man, you haven't lived until you've tipped a Brahmin with a vertebrate. Now that's a challenge.
Something I can do for you, soldier?
Yeah.
Well, to fix...
Feel better now that I'm...
Glad to hear it.
Yep. Too much radiation.
Blood pooling in... All done. Any other complaints?
No, we're...
Sounds good.
Hey!
Something I can do for you, soldier?
Actually, I need some supplies.
Scribes have been stocking...
Mm-hmm.
Might want to have Night Captain Cade take a look at that entry.
Suit up. possible.
Hey,
There's still that off-the-record matter I'd like to discuss. Do you have time now?
maybe later.
Very well. I suppose it can wait.
Heads up.
Need something? There's still that off-the-record matter I'd like to discuss.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Thank you. This is difficult for me to say, so I hope you'll bear with me as I try to get through it. When you were first placed under my sponsorship, I had some serious reservations about it. Despite all that, this has turned out to be a reward. Honestly, I don't feel like there's anything else I could teach you about being a Brotherhood soldier that you don't already know. It's apparent from your attitude and your actions that you intend to keep those ideals close to your heart.
I know there's more you want to say. Go on.
Yes, I'm getting to that. I'm just not very good at these things. Let me start at the beginning. I grew up alone in the capital wasteland. Spent most of my childhood picking through the ruins and selling scrap. When I was a bit older and had a few caps to my name, I moved into Rivet City and opened a junk stand. While I was there, I met a guy named Cutler. We got along pretty well. Watched each other's backs and kept each other out of trouble. When the Brotherhood came through on a recruiting run, we felt like it was a way out of our nowhere lives. So we joined up.
Rivet City. Must be post-war, because I've never heard of it.
You're right. It was a settlement, built inside the remains of a beached aircraft carrier. One of the safest places to live in the capital wasteland, until the Brotherhood arrived. It was the perfect location for me to try my hand at being a merchant.
I didn't expect your entire life story. I hope there's a point.
I'm getting to it, if you'll let me finish. Anyway, about a year after we were posted to the Prydwen, Cutler vanished on a scouting op. It took some convincing, but I was able to persuade my CO to let me assemble a squad and search for him. It took almost 3 weeks, but we tracked his team down to a super mutant hive. Those wretched abominations had slaughtered everyone but Cutler. He should have been so lucky. The mutant bastards used their FEV to change him into one of their own kind. He wasn't Cutler anymore. I had to... It was my duty to put him down.
Are you sure there wasn't anything you can do to change him back?
The FEV effect is irreversible. There was nothing anyone could do.
You did the right thing.
It's what I was taught. I don't know. Ever since Cutler died, I've seen other soldiers come and go. Some were brave, some were honest. Hell, some were even downright heroic. But I'd never considered any of them to be a good friend. A friend like Cutler was. Until now. It's a good feeling, but it frightens me all the same. Having a bond with someone, then losing them. It changes you. I don't want to go through that again.
It'll never come to that. I promise.
Even though I'm well aware that you have no control over it, I appreciate the sentiment. I just thought you deserved to know how I felt. If you feel that I've overstepped my bounds, I completely understand. Whatever the case may be, I appreciate the fact that you took the time to listen.
I'm bringing her in. Hang on to something.
I feel better when you have my back.
Yeah?
Seems to be growing well.
Hey, I almost thought you wouldn't. You know what? Since we talked, I'm feeling swell. Look at the two of us here in Sanctuary, prepared for the future.
Hey, now that you're back here in Sanctuary, how would you like a job?
A job? For me? Really?
Yeah, I think your sales experience can be a great asset.
You do?
Got it.
Brotherhood, then there's everything else. Nothing in between.
Wanted to get rid of the neighbors. I couldn't say. Whatever
Lock's really strong.
We can all agree that viewers should be thrown around. Isn't a bad thing.
To you, that doesn't seem old. To me, it's an archaeological relic.
Hey, Valentine.
Time to hit the road?
You interested in traveling together?
Sure, could be fun.
Not now.
Well, I'll be around if you change your mind.
All weapon systems are go. Good shooting, Knight.
think they gave up. Wise choice.
End of the line.
Hell yeah.
All systems go. Clear for takeoff. All weapon systems are go. Good shooting, Knight. for landing. Touchdown could be a little rough.
Yeah.
Remarkable work, Knight. The signal interceptor appears to be complete. Are you ready to put it to the test?
You sure Ingram knows what she's doing?
Proctor Ingram's managed to keep a 40,000-ton airship aloft for the past 5 years. I'd say that earns her the benefit of the doubt. That being said, this is the first time we've attempted to directly adapt Institute technology. When we throw that switch, we don't know exactly what's gonna happen. God willing, you'll end up inside the Institute, and the mission can continue.
What are the details of my mission?
I'm glad you asked. Now, I want you to listen very carefully. Once you've entered the Institute, we expect to lose contact, so it's imperative you remember everything I'm about to tell you. About 10 years ago, the Brotherhood began recruiting civilian scientists from the capital wasteland to assist with various projects. During this process, we were able to obtain the services of Dr. Madison Lee, a noted mind in the field of nuclear engineering.
How did the Brotherhood meet Dr. Lee?
She was part of a civilian project in the capital wasteland that the Brotherhood appropriated. It wasn't difficult to convince her to stay. That said, Dr. Lee's contributions to our cause were instrumental in maintaining order in the capital wasteland. After some time, she developed differences with the Brotherhood and exiled herself to the Commonwealth. We're fairly certain that her intent was to make contact with the Institute.
She was a valuable resource. It was...
Agreed. I wish our predecessors would have had your foresight. Your mission is simple. Once you're inside the Institute, we want you to track down Dr. Lee's whereabouts. If you find out that she's still alive, make contact with her and convince her to return to the Brotherhood of Steel. There's a special project we're working on, and it needs her attention.
What's this?
Sorry, that information is... Listen to me, Knight. I'm well aware that you're... Just keep your mind... Good luck.
I've checked and rechecked everything.
Now that's what I call locked and loaded.
Doesn't it feel good to be a part of something as important as the Brotherhood?
I've checked and rechecked.
Excuse me, Proctor Ingram.
I've checked and rechecked everything. I think the signal...
Uh-huh. Let's do this.
All right. Head up onto the You wanted to get into the Institute, right? Well, what are you waiting for? Let's see. Relays dialed in. Beam emitters warmed up. Everything looks green. Let me start scanning for the signal. Cross your fingers. I'm inputting the code now. Wow, there's a heck of a lot of interference and... Take a minute or two to lock in. By the way, this little trip you're taking is a heck of an opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. I put a clever little program on this holotape that'll scan their network and download anything it finds. If you place it in any terminal down there, it'll do the rest. Bring it back to me and I'll see if I can make sense of whatever it found. Well, well, looks like we have a winner. RF wave capture complete. Ramping the emitter. 60%, 80%. Emitter spiking but steady. All that's left is to throw the transmit switch. Transmitting in 3, 2, 1. Stay safe, soldier.
I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I am known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Useless. Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Oh, goddamn them. So many years stolen.
Who are you?
Sean.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Yes.
What's going on?
I'll kill them for this. All of them.
I don't know you. Go away.
Damn it. Sean! Open the door!
Father? Father! Father! Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
I could kill you. Right here, right now.
Yes. Yes, you could. And I would be powerless to stop you.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Shaun. I am your son.
Oh, come on! That's crazy.
I assure you, I am completely sane and entirely honest. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
They stole you, kidnapped you. Wasn't right.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended on it. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Human synths? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you. Are you following?
I don't believe you. There's no way any of this is true.
I wish there was something to say. I know this isn't what you wanted. But it's the only truth I can offer you.
You're lying. I know it.
Why would I lie? What would I have to gain from it? I assure you, This is the truth. I've shown you my trust. Your weapons haven't been confiscated, and I stand unarmed before you. Please, let's just talk.
If this is true, where do we start?
I know you must have questions. Please, anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
I forget that it's been such a short time for you. I don't have any direct memories. And I've had my entire life to cope with the loss. Has it always been easy? Of course not. But I've done my best to move on and live my life. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
I think I've heard enough for now.
Very well. The Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here? In the Institute?
Yes. That is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
I don't know what to do.
I realize that. It's why I'm trying to help you. I hope that you can see that rationally. The Institute is the only thing left in the world that is worth being part of. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
All right.
Thank you. The Institute is now your home as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, And finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
Doc.
They weren't kidding.
I don't know.
You really are here.
Most of them have lasted
Well, all
long
right.
past their projected
I'm Alec.
lifespans.
When Father told
You
us
ask
about
me,
you, I could hardly
they were built
believe
pretty
it.
well.
You've been through so much. I think, if you don't mind my asking,
What makes you
I suppose when I heard your story, I felt sorry for you. You've suffered more tragedy than any one person deserves. Your whole world is gone. I'm sorry. I know that was a very personal question. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratory. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
I'm just looking around.
I see. Well, please do mind what you touch. Sensitive equipment here, not like topside. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
Who built this place, originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it. I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
It's an honor to have you.
When are you going to tell me about this mysterious face?
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Doctor.
Oh, it's you. You're not authorized to be here. Where are you going? I thought you wanted to talk. Oh, it's you. You're not authorized to be here.
Well, that was productive.
You must think I'm some guy. Father may have given you the keys to the castle, but I still decide. So why don't you just run along?
Is this how you treat everyone? Or are you just putting on...
I wasn't aware that I had to answer. You're obviously here for a reason, and you've already spoiled my...
I've been sent by the...
You don't beat around. I knew it was just a matter of... I've been looking over...
I'm only here with good intentions.
You're giving me your word, even though we just met? Fine. Since Father trusts you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I might not agree with everything he says, but I know he'd never allow harm to come my way. Say what you came here to say, and then leave me alone.
The Brotherhood needs...
Needs my help. They seem to have everything...
Right. The Brotherhood is having...
I don't see how that's my problem. Tell me something. Why would I What reason would I have to throw away everything I've accomplished here?
Father trusts...
You're wasting your breath. The Brotherhood desired my creations in order to destroy, to take control. I'm not interested in returning to that way of life.
I give up.
What would it take to convince you?
All right, I'll play your game. I had a colleague down here. Several months ago, there was an accident in his lab, and he was killed. I wanted to help with the investigation, but Father had the laboratory sealed, saying that it was contaminated. The incident never sat right with me. The more I asked about it, the more I felt like Father was deflecting my questions. If you bring me solid information on what killed him, I'll take it as a favor from the Brotherhood and consider your offer. Do we have a deal?
Deal.
All right. Doctor, I can give you a code that...
Right.
I'd tell you to be quiet about it, but your Brotherhood and finally, if you get caught, we never had this conversation. Now, for the sake of keeping up appearances, let me see that pip. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Thank you.
Given that the relay is the only way to access the Institute, handy is something of an understatement. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll, if nothing else, it should... Speaking of...
Is it true food supplement 77 discounts?
You had time to examine my latest reports on batch 274.
Not yet. I've been reviewing...
Hey, Doc.
I wonder how the
Welcome.
Walrick family is
So
doing.
good to have you here.
Young
Dr.
Wally must
Clayton
be close to
Holdren,
10 years old by
head
now.
of the Bioscience Trade.
Remarkable.
I
Any
can't
child
wait
can
for you to see the
survive
work
for
we're
so
doing.
long up there, don't you
It's
think?
truly amazing.
I look forward to learning more about it.
In that case, let me give you a brief overview of what we do here. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
Seems like there's nothing.
With hard work, I'm sure
I'm not sure how well I'll fit in.
Great.
Right.
In any case.
You mentioned medical care. I might need that.
In that case, he's our top... Dr. Volker, you won't find...
Dr. Holdren's Central Gorilla Project is showing promising results.
Security's too good.
Please resist any urge you might feel to eat the specimens in the hydroponic garden.
Nothing to report, sir.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
It must make you proud to see all that Father has
You know the
done.
protocol, sir. Authorized personnel
Scanning.
only.
So, Doctor... Glad you made it.
Robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
They're
Dr.
dragging
Watson
anything
can
on
use
the targeting package upgrades I asked for.
rules and
Maybe I should take some courses with me.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Please don't.
So,
There's enough
here you
friction
are.
as it is between
Just a nail.
us and
I'll be
pretty much
upfront
all
with
the
you.
other departments.
Sure.
Despite your early, I'm sure you understand.
No problem.
Good. Now, our primary response.
I'm sure it's best.
Certainly. We can't allow sophisticated Institute technology to fall into the wrong hands. The results could be disastrous. Our main instrument is the Courser. A third-generation Coursers hunt down. They are highly self-sufficient.
Right.
But I gather you know all this. In fact...
I'm no stranger to combat.
Even so, a Courser should be more than a match for any single combatant. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire... Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to it.
I'd like to know more about this.
Fine. We then begin the delicate process. In those cases where the procedure is successful, all too often we're unable to repair the damage and are forced to dispose.
I know it'll be a difficult adjustment for you, but try to remember that synths aren't people.
Greetings, sir.
Did I turn off the interferometer?
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute firsthand, what do you...
You've got techno...
I'm glad you can appreciate what... Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused on a single goal. The goal is best summarized by our motto: mankind, redefined. Unfortunately, no advancement comes without occasional setbacks. As remarkable as our synths are, they can be dangerous without proper supervision. The superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a recipe for chaos.
If the synths are intelligent and self-aware, then they have...
However closely they may approximate human behavior, they are still our creations. When you see what I have to show you, I think you'll agree that we know a rogue synth has taken over the Raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the Raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him and reclaim that synth.
It might not want to talk. It would be safer just to kill it.
That would be a terrible waste of a valuable resource. If at all possible, that synth should be returned alive. Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger, and a delay could cost lives.
Relay powering up. Ready in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relay online and engaging.
Hot and ready to bring the pain, sir.
Attention. This is a notice to all personnel. Please think of your brothers and sisters down below. Thoroughly secure all gear while on the flight deck. Thank you. Attention. Delta Team Lead, report to the bridge. Delta Team Lead to the bridge.
You know those synths with the plastic faces? They creep me the heck out.
Can I help you with anything? There's always another fight.
I'll take a look.
Got some choice.
Sure.
Charging into a situation, guns blazing, is a good way to get yourself killed.
Don't let Ingrid catch you standing there.
Talk right now. Gotta clean the Mirelurk scat off my boots.
I highly recommend leaving some of that equipment behind.
Heads up.
Switching out your gear?
I can't believe super mutants were human ones. How could science have gone so wrong?
last person that disobeyed Captain Kelvin ended up springing across
Don't despair, brother. We're here to save the Commonwealth.
Here's your holotape, Proctor. Hope the data on that thing was worth it.
Thanks. You know, it's good to see your...
I wasn't worried.
I have confidence in everything I built, too. But that's because I'll only deal with technology that I understand. Speaking of technology I don't understand, I'll get this holotape to Proctor Quinlan. I'm dying to find out what's...
Hopefully it'll reveal a weak...
That would be the... Before we jump to conclusion, I'm sure the Institute has all... After that, well, in the meantime, your mission to recruit Dr. Lee.
Sure.
Good luck, Knight.
Sims, FEV, who knows what other sick projects the Institute's working on.
Damn ferals.
Attention! Delta Team Lead, report to the bridge. Delta Team Lead to the bridge.
If you're looking for another safe haven, there's shelter and supplies at the police station in Cambridge.
Glad to see you've returned safely from the Institute, brother.
Maxim might appear compassionate, but I'm unsure.
If you run into any Sims, shoot to kill. You don't take prisoners.
Hold up, Knight. Let me make one thing clear. As a member of the Brotherhood, you serve under my command. If you want my respect, you will have to earn it. When I give you a mission, I expect results. Is that clear?
Perfectly.
Good. I want you to take charge of a recovery operation. The Brotherhood has been monitoring the Commonwealth for some time now, ever since we learned of the synth threat. We've dispatched a number of reconnaissance teams. Paladin Dance's squad was far from the first. The previous team was dispatched 3 years ago. They never reported back. Officially, they're missing. Presumed dead.
Was there a rescue mission?
Of course not. We don't have the resources or the manpower to conduct a search like that. Recon teams in the field have to rely on their skills and training to survive. They know the risks, but we honor those who give their lives in the line of duty. Your orders are to search for the missing recon team and recover their effects. Report to me with your results. Is that understood?
Where should I begin?
Their insertion point was in the hills near Malden. Survey the area and establish a search pattern. Monitor your radio for distress signals. All recon teams are issued distress pulsars that put out a short-range homing beacon. Acquire a signal, and you should be able to trace it back to its source. That's all, Knight. Dismissed.
Whole plating integrity looks good.
Proud to be serving under Elder Maxson. I had enough of Lyons and his foolish ways. If it was up to me, I'd take every barrel, send, and shoot them in